Okay, make sure I got this right here. Let me shoot this video on the road. This is Lucky Links, and I had a request several requests a while back for Kipper. You know, do some videos on like Kipper or the Gypsy cards, and or this, you know, the Sibilla. And I just went to Forestville, California, to Lucky Mojo Curio, and they had I've been wanting this one for years. I just never got it, and then I got the Sibilla, and you know, these are kind of like, you know, the Gypsy. There's some cards in here that remind me of the Whitman. I don't know if those of you have Whitman, and some are similar to like Lenormand. But I'm going to show you as I'm in the car as a passenger now, because we're on a long drive. I'm going to show you. I don't know how to read these. I mean, I do Lenormand, I do Whitman, I do playing cards. Sibilla ones have playing card inserts, but these don't. These are article, but I just love the art on these. I always have. By the way, if you get a chance to go to Forestville and see the Lucky Mojo people do, they're fantastic. Catherine Ironwood, years ago, she helped me with some research I was doing. About 10 years ago, she helped me with some research I was doing for historical lectures on itinerant fortune tellers and hoodoo in Chicago, and the history of it in Chicago, and she was invaluable. She's an incredible woman, very knowledgeable. She's so sweet, and the staff there's fantastic. So I can't recommend these folks enough, and they do an incredible online business. Their whole shop is lined with stuff waiting to go out in the mail, and I got this one there. I got both of these decks there because whoa, okay, so you can do this a couple of ways now. I'm going to say, I'm trying to come up with a topic here. Let's because they just popped out for me. Okay, all right, I see what it's saying. Deck's telling me something. All right, so what you could do it a couple of ways. You can do, you know, you can read these in pairs. You know, that's the cartomancy. So we got money, right? So then we could read that with a gift. So this could be a gift of good fortune. Fortunate gift. What you're going to do is you're going to look for not just what's on the card, not just what it says, and not just the picture, but you're going to look for the quality and the essence of it. I suppose I could be real like academic douchey and say the zeitgeist. You're going to look for the zeitgeist, but we're not going to do that. So then here's another one. We got sadness, right? So that's a woman crying. So let's say you're reading for, it could literally mean that they're crying, but then we've got hope. So I could say that if I combine these, it might be bittersweet. A bittersweet ending, or an ending that turns for the better. So you want to find the quality here, not just the image, but the quality as well. So let's look at the old man here. We got the old man, right? So what could the quality be? The quality could be long-standing, aged, fading. It could be wisdom, experience, and then we'll add another one to it. Thief. Okay, so we're going to take the negative because some of these, I mean, you go through these, this could be a real dark outlook on life if you do these, and I think that's one of the reasons why people can have a hard time with them. But let's say the thief could mean someone who knows how to find their true value or get their true value, and having the wisdom to know what's really valuable, and having the wisdom to know what to target. This could also be an informed choice, an informed target. So you see, you want to look for the quality. And if like I said, if you just read them straight, I think this is one of the reasons people struggle, and one of the reasons why people ask me how to read them is because they're finding like, oh gosh, everything's a downer. There's like the thief and misfortune and sadness and and the widow, but there's a quality that's there too, and you want to look for the quality. So let's say you can do it that way. You can start to combine cards, and you can see what the qualities combined mean. And this could be so that's the doctor, right? The physician, and then which is interesting because those of you who have the Whitman, the same scene in the Whitman is the sick person, right? So, and then we got this one. We've got Biff here. I guess that'd be Bertie Wooster because these are from like 1936. So maybe that's Bertie Wooster, the young man. So let's say, did anyone get my Wooster and Jeeves reference? Okay, so I'd say this could be revitalizing, young man, a healing situation that makes you feel young again or revitalized, or like you're turning back the clock. So then that's one of the ways you can do it. You can do it like that. You can read them in pairs, and then you can start to read the pairs and read them in and maybe in another video I'll do that. I'll do 3 pairs in a row and read the message. Well, let's say we just do it as a past, present, and a future, like any other deck. And by the way, I would say always use your intuition, because when you start to get too cerebral in the combinations, you lose it. You will lose it. So a woman comes to you and she says, "Hey, I lost this ring, and will I ever find it?" Okay. Sometimes that happens, right? Someone says, "Hey, I lost a ring. It was a very important ring. It was my mother's ring. Will I find it?" So we're going to do past, present, and future, and we're going to see what we got, because I don't know what's going to come up here. So we're going to, okay, it's past. So we got the servant. Okay, so that was the past. And then I'm going to say, from the feeling of this, is something that was very valuable for her, and something that she very much couldn't afford to lose. And then the present was present here is the party. Okay, so she was very social with it and showing it around, or she was in a very social situation, showing it around. Very active. And when she lost it, and then the future is merriment. And I'd say that if she gets her mind off of the worry about it, which the servant, when the servant comes up, it usually means that it's a combination of judging too harshly and not having boundaries and remaining in a victim mindset. So it feels like she was like beating herself and berating up for it. But then the other two came with advice. If you loosen up and you be social and you get out there and you recognize the value of your friendships and your relationships, and the relationships which are more important than things, then the outlook is good. Though it may not be a recovery, you'll be much more happy to deal with it. I'd say if it came up as like the sweetheart, for example, I think if the sweetheart came up, I'd say yeah, because it feels like it comes together in like a deal there, or the marriage, because there's a marriage in here that might do it. So let's say someone else comes to you and they got a question about their son. He's been getting involved in some really negative stuff, and she's worried about him. He's a teenager. He's getting involved in negative stuff. She's afraid. She's afraid for him, and you can feel the fear coming off of her. So let's say what the past is. We got so we got death in the past. So what this feels like to me, because especially because it's in the past position, that she's afraid he's going to die. Okay, so that's the past position. Then we're going to look at the middle, which is that's the letter. So she's been trying to communicate to him the urgency of changing his ways, because she's trying to convince him or tell him of this or communicate this to him without spooking him. and without pushing him away. And the future is the baby. Or, I'm sorry, love. Okay, love. There's a baby in here too. This is love. So I say that what's going to happen is he's going to turn around for her. That her approach to him is going to turn it around. Although it does feel like there's a great deal of anger in there. I got to keep this going because, to be honest, it doesn't feel to me like that's enough to do it. And then there's a message after that. That's Mercury. So anger quickly changes it, and then so it's up and down, back and forth, and then sadness. Okay, so what the outcome then feels like is worried about his death, and she's trying to communicate it to him. In the future, she wants to express love to him, and she just wants to show him how much she loves him. His anger is the piece that comes out. That's the anger piece. And then it very quickly flares up. This is Mercury in the message, but mercurial energy is very fast. And then what happens is it quickly turns to sadness. So what looked like a promise based on love quickly turns around, and it looks like it turns to sadness in that case. She does not give up hope, because I don't want to end there. That's kind of depressing. So she does not give up hope. She does not want to give up hope, and she's going to come up with a new idea from there. And then there's the doctor piece, which looks like something else or someone else is going to have to help intervene to help heal. All right, so, and then you could keep going from there. Okay, so that's how you do it. You get a hold of them and you start playing with them and you work with them. And then there's always that other method that I told you guys. You're in a situation and you look back on the day. It's like, okay, so what was earlier today? So you look back and you're like, I had a business meeting today. What represents that? Goal, money. It was all about profit, making money. I had a meeting today earlier, and there was something off with it. This person says, so like you look back on your day, you're like you kind of met a friend on the way. You were on your way to the gym, or you were on your way to work, or something. You kind of met a friend, and there was something off, and you ask, what was off about that? And then it's a visit, and it feels like the motivation to connect was not equal at that time. So one person wanted to visit, and the other person just had to get going and go do something else because they had an appointment or something to get to. So those are three different ways that you can go into the Kipper kind of, Gypsy kind of, Whitman kind of, these ones that are different than Lenormand. And you can do bigger spreads with them, yeah, and you know, there's a way to lay them all out in rows or in decks and in packs, and there's all sorts of ways to do that. But my suggestion is to just play with them and see what you get out of it. And then you'll learn that way by playing with it. And you know, everyone's got an opinion on how you're supposed to do it. And in my experience, the more adamant they are about the way that it has to be done, the more you're going to run into blocks, and you're going to go, why isn't this working? Why isn't this literal? So remember, try not to always be literal. You can be, because these go pretty literal in the meaning and in the picture. But remember, there's a quality to them too. So for example, the Lord could be dignity, or approach it with dignity and self-control, and you will you'll make a killing. How's that? I'm Lucky Links, as always, wishing you success and good fortune in all that you do. If you want a reading, you want to schedule a reading, conjurehope@gmail.com or 779-302-8009, and Jack the Wonder Dog can take your call and schedule the reading for you. Again, if you guys are in Forestville, California, or near it, go check out Lucky Mojo. They're fantastic folks, and I thank them for having these in stock, and for the wonderful time that we had there. So again, wishing you success and good fortune in all you do, and you guys have a fantastic week and weekend.